Chris has a broken shoulder. Her arm is now out of the sling and she has to try and get some mobility back into it. So we're going to start off slowly and trying to get her some movement into the arm. So to start off with, I just want Chris to try and rotate the fingers. So it's just rotating the fingers. Now, when you rotate the fingers, it actually works the elbow and it subtly works the shoulder inside. So that's one of the exercises I'd like her to do. The other one is if she brings her other arm across and slowly lowers the arm down as far as she can without strain, and then bring it back up again. Okay, so that's all we're going to ask her to do to start off with. Right, Chris has been working on getting movement back into her arm after having a broken shoulder. So she's been working on circling the hand, little tiny movements, and also lowering the arm up and down with some help from the other hand. And she's got to the stage now where she can actually do that quite comfortably by herself. The next stage is I'd like Chris to start to swing the arms from one side to the other side. And just let the body sway a little bit, so if you widen your stance, that's it. And just try and swing the arms one side to the other side. So she has movement, quite good movement in this part of the arm. It's actually trying to create a gap underneath the arm here. So she starts off quite close in. As she gets stronger, we'll actually work at bringing more gap underneath her arm. Okay, so Chris has been working on getting mobility back into her arm after breaking the shoulder. So the first sort of exercise was the circling of the hands. Then from there, we had a lowering the arm down and up with help from her other hand, till eventually she could do that by herself. Okay, so what we're going to do with Chris's arm now is, we're actually going to get her to lift the arm as high as she can without strain, and then lower it down. The other movement we need is we need her to take the arm out sideways as far as she can without strain. Now what I'd like her to do is, I'd like her to focus on her elbow and just try and lift the elbow. Then I'd like her to try and lift the wrist and then the fingers. And what that does is it actually moves the shoulder. And then of course we just lower the arm back down to the side. So those are the movements I'd like her to work on for the moment. Another exercise that Chris has been practicing for a broken shoulder was where I asked Chris to bring the arms round in front of the shoulders, bring the hands there and they come in and try and take the shoulders out sideways. So I'll let Chris explain in her own words what actually happened with this exercise, because she's actually made a lot of progress with this exercise.
Well, I started off by bringing the hands round in front of the chest with the palms together. Now, taking the hands out to in front of the shoulders, of course the left hand went out easy. The right hand was more closed in and I could only get about halfway and the hand was offset. Then I would have to bring them together before I lowered them to the side. Now as time has gone on, I've now got to the stage where I can bring the hands together, I can take them out to the shoulders, both equal, and the palms are actually facing each other before I bring them back to the centre and lower them down, and that I can now do with no discomfort whatsoever.
The next exercise that Chris has actually practiced to help get more mobility in her shoulders is to take the arms out sideways and you do a small circle forward and then you do a small circle back. Now this actually gets mobility and rotation into the shoulder joint, and Chris has made quite a lot of progress with this exercise, so she'd just like to demonstrate it for you now.
Okay then, so you just take the arms out to the side. Now, rolling the shoulders forward, at first it was very, very small circles, forwards and then backwards, and then just returning the hands to the sides. But now, the hands come up and the circles are a lot bigger, because the shoulder is now a lot less stiff than it was, and again backwards.
Okay, and how many weeks post-op are you now, Chris?
Now I'm 13 weeks post-op.
Okay, so she's made a lot of progress in that time. So next time we're going to look at doing some load-bearing things on the hands, just to try and start taking some weight onto those joints.